To get this bread started, you're going to put in a bowl 1.5 tablespoons of quick rise yeast, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil into a bowl, and then we're going to add 1 cup of warm water, and it'll just get everything going. And you're just going to stir it a little bit, let that yeast start to dissolve, and wait about 5 minutes before we add our dry ingredients. Okay, so the yeast is starting to be activated. I have my bread dough beater on my mixer, and we're going to now add in 1 egg, and then we're also going to add in 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 cup of flour. And we're going to beat this together for 3 minutes. Alright, then you're going to add 1 3/4 cup of flour more into your mixture gradually. So hopefully this isn't too jerky. Eventually this will happen to your dough. You see how it's not really mixing around and you can't really incorporate the new flour in it? And it's just one big ball. So that's when I know to dump whatever flour I have left in my cup onto my counter, and I will take this ball of dough out and put the remaining flour that's in the bowl on top of it, and I will knead it together until it's all incorporated. When you're done kneading the flour, when you're done kneading the dough and incorporate all the other flour, then what I do is I take the same bowl that I was using and I put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom and spread it around with my fingers, and I just drop the bread right back into it, the dough right back into it actually, sorry. And I just place it on my oven, and I have my oven on right now at 350, and it's just to create some heat to help the dough rise. And I'm just going to cover it with a towel, and I'm just going to let it rise here, not very long, just about 10 minutes, and then we'll start working with it again. Okay, after it's been about 10 minutes, you're just going to put your dough onto your cookie sheet and just have it prepared, like with parchment paper. And I roll it out on here just like this, and I will show you the size that you'll want to roll it out. Okay, so I guess it's about the size of a medium pizza, and the dough remains about 1 inch thick because it's going to rise a bit more. And you can do it in a circle, a rectangle, whatever you want. So now I'm going to place it back onto the oven top and put a little bit of olive oil on top. Then I'm going to put some saran wrap on top of it so that when I lay the towel down, it's not going to stick to the bread. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I put some olive oil on top, put a piece of saran wrap over top of it, and then I'm just going to cover it up with a towel and let it sit here now for 45 minutes. It's almost double in size in that period of time. So it's doubled in size, and now I'm going to take a sharp knife and just punch in some holes about 1 inch apart all throughout the whole circle. Next, you can cut up some jalapenos if you'd like. We prefer to use these hot banana pepper rings because they have kick to them, but they're not so overpowering and painful like a jalapeno. So that's what I choose to chop up and put on. Then I'm going to put cheese on, and enough to cover it, and then a couple teaspoons of some dried rosemary. Alright, we're all set to go into the oven. The oven is preheated to 350 degrees, and I'm going to bake this for about 25 minutes. Okay, I'm going to let it cool now for about 10 minutes, then cut it up and serve it. And this is how I cut it up. I just cut it up into squares, cut it in half bursts, and kind of trim off the drier sides there. And as you can see, it is a really fluffy, moist bread, and with all the flavor being on top with the hot peppers, cheese, and the rosemary. So it's a really good dunker.